Simon fellow bats, and welcome to a brand new series on the channel. We're going to be doing character profiles for Fire Emblem Heroes. We're going to take our good old units, break them down by stats, starting kits, and eventually our builds for what we're using on our eventual teams. So today we're going to start off with Princess of Ice Fjorm. For those of you who do not know, she is a brand new character introduced into Fire Emblem Heroes. And what was amazing about her is you get her as a free 5-star unit if you complete Chapter 1 of Book 2 that was just launched as of today, November 28th. So she is a Lance user, and she's actually pretty cool. So switching over, her stats are pretty average. Like, they're pretty nice. She's got a nice, well-rounded HP stat at 39. Sure, she didn't hit that 40 mark, but it's a pretty nice HP stat nonetheless. She can still take a hit, no problem. Her attack is just, it's good. It's just slightly under the, what you would want now. A lot of characters are hitting that 50 mark, so you kind of want to be in that kind of average range. So she might just be slightly under, but again, she can still hit really nicely, and she's got a fantastic array of things she can do with that attack. Her speed, kind of like her attack, is just below average, but again, average is alright. You know what? She's going to be able to still double a good chunk of the cast. She's still able to hit pretty hard. That speed stat, as long as you've got a either being a neutral or a plus, is going to do pretty well. Her defense is pretty good. She can take a hit, no problem. Of course, she can't do too much against a green unit, but that's besides the point. And her resistance is also really good. Her resistance is really high at a base 34. Very nice. And again, to those of you who are getting her in your pulls on the legendary banner, kudos. Let me know what you are getting in terms of your stat spreads. Her starter kit is pretty simple. She actually comes with a good chunk of her kit right off the bat. She starts with Lepter, which is a Lance that has 16 might. It has this incredible ability called Distant Counter built into it, where regardless of the range of your opponent, she will be able to counter back, which is really good. We've seen a lot of our top tier units, you know, Black Knight, Ike, all of them. They tend to be incredible units just because of this ability, so she as well is going to have such a fun time using this. I find her as a very good magic check, just due to this, and then her resistance, of course. So keep that in mind when building. She comes with this new skill called Ice Mirror. Ice Mirror, it's a 2-turn cooldown, and what it does is it reduces damage units take from 2 spaces away by 30%. So, aka magic and archers. And if the special triggers, boost units' next attack by total damage, which was reduced. So if you manage to reduce 5 damage, then your next hit against that unit is going to hit for another 5 damage, which is really good. It does add a little bit of damage to her already strong output. And again, huge magic check here. Now, attack defense bonds is another really good one. That if you are partnered with an ally, if you are standing pretty much adjacent to an ally, you will be given attack and defense plus 5. So this is going to increase her attack power, getting her over that 50%, that 50 attack, which is absolutely incredible, and it boosts her defense to a very impressive 35. So this is a very good A slot skill for her, right off the top. Obviously, there are possibilities of getting better things, and we'll get over that in a minute, but it's a very nice skill. And she comes with Shield Pulse as well. If units special trigger based on a foe's if units special triggers based on a foe's attack, that special cooldown will be reduced by 2 at the start of turn 1. So in other words, we'll be able to get off Ice Mirror almost pretty much instantaneously, as long as we're being hit by magical checks or archers as well. Or daggers. But needless to say, you'll have a ton of opportunities to set this up, and they go corresponding together. It's very nice, very simple. And then lastly, she does come with Drive Attack 2, which is a really good C skill. Grants allies within 2 spaces attack +3 during combat. So, this means that all your other attackers are going to be able to hit for just a tad bit more, and that's always a nice thing to have on an infantry unit who is an attacker. This means your other forces are able to do more damage, and you're able to get a little bit more off. Now, going into what I would classify as our first build, it looks identical almost to what we were doing before. So our first build, only thing I've added is Reposition. Reposition is a fantastic support skill that lets you take one of your partner allies and then put them on the opposite end of the ally that you are using this on. And it gets a lot of momentum. It is definitely one of the best skills in this game. Now again, this first build is pretty self-explanatory because we kind of just went over it. Using Lepter as your main weapon, you are able to do counterattacks from range, and then your Ice Mirror will protect you, taking 30% less damage, and then if your special triggers, you'll be able to take that reduced damage and input that into your second follow-up attack, which is really, really nice, especially against a lot of the mages that are currently out there. Your attack defense bond will help you against your physical attack range users, as long as one of your allies is there standing right beside you. So as long as you've got someone there, you are not only getting your attack and defense buffs, but you're going to be able to counter back with Ice Mirror and your Shield Pulse once again against those physical range units as well. She is a very good frontline user, especially with this build, because she gets all these opportunities to kind of reflect all of what you would expect from meta being, you know, ranged magic users, the archers, all those kind of things. Now she can't, the thing about this one though is she doesn't proc that super all that much against field, like your actual close counter units, so just keep that in mind when building as well. Next up though is going to be our second build. Now this one's a little bit more offensive in my opinion, getting you that opportunity to do a ton more damage based on her stats, and you're going to be able to get a ton more out of this one in my opinion. So the first two are the same. We're still going to be using Lepter because this encounter is such an incredible stat underneath your weapon. You gotta use it. Reposition again, still going to be on this thing because Reposition is a fantastic assist skill if you are not using Dance or the armor units swap sort of thing. Next up, we're going to be using Glacies. It boosts damage dealt by 80% of units' resistance, which is absolutely incredible. It does have a 4-turn cooldown though, but it does a ton of damage, and you should be doubling quite a bit because we are going to be attaching it Fjorm with the Fury skill. It grants attack, speed, defense, and resistance +3, and the unit will be taking 6 upon after combat. Now, of course, we don't have a way of rehealing that with this one, so you will want to partner up with someone with reciprocal aid or some sort of magical way of healing your character, whether it be through a C skill or a healer or, like I said, the reciprocal aid. So there's a ton of ways you can heal that back up. Quick Repose 2 lets her double quite a little bit more often. You get to automatically make a follow-up attack if attacked at HP higher than 80%. So if you get hit, you can follow up twice, and you hopefully will knock out your opponent quite nicely. And then lastly, we have the Drive Attack again. It's just a fantastic C skill to use on here. For this build, you can easily go a Resistance Sacred Seal. This way you can do more damage with your Glacies, have a better chance of landing a lot more damage, and, you know, it's just a good idea. On build 1, I would have probably recommended one of the deflects, whether it be missile or magic, just based on the set you wanted to take on, which checks that you were going to be using for her. In my opinion, she's a pretty good unit. Again, she's really balanced. There's a lot of other things you can do with her, but these are the two sets that I've currently come up with. Now, I know this is going to be a bit of a rough first character profile, as it is our first one, so I do apologize if it's not the best thing you guys have seen in the world, but I am wanting to learn more from your comments, so please give me any follow-up information that you guys have. What kind of sets are you using for Fjorm? And what things would you like to see in future character profiles? Like I said, this is just a starting path for me. I hope in the future I can provide more information and more details for you as we go by. Of course, I'll be trying to add more damage calculators and stuff, but at the time of this recording, they were not available to me, so I do apologize for that as well. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are brand new here, please hit the subscribe button. It does mean the world to me you guys come out and watch the videos on the regular, but that is going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. But until then, time out.